Hi, I'm Aeryn, and this is the numerology of the month. It's the number 13 because when you add 7 for July plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2, it adds up to 13. Also, yesterday we had a very intense super full moon, which happened on the 13th of July. And that's pretty amazing because we have the double 13 energy in play. And I think that there is something that the universe is trying to tell us. So 13 is actually the number for the divine feminine. It's a very strong number, but that doesn't mean that it only applies to women. This energy also applies to men because we all have the divine feminine and also the sacred masculine energy within us. It's just that the feminine energy is more concerned about the subconscious, our compassion. It's about being more receptive, more sensitive. It's about our feelings, about being emotional, our intuition, and our nurturing side. So 13 is actually very connected to nature, like you can see in this picture. We have 13 lunar cycles in a year. And as you know, the lunar cycles are very connected to the woman's cycle. And also there are 13 weeks in one season. In the Western culture, 13 has a very negative connotation. And that's because the Catholic Church created this image because they knew about the power of the 13. And to them, women should have no rights. And women should have no power. Therefore, they made it so that women are not having access to this number. But back in the days, women who, despite all of that, still used the energy of the 13 were called witches, or they were said to be part of an occult, and they got punished and even executed. So more and more, this idea was embedded within society that 13 is a dangerous and bad and evil number. So let's take a look at the 13. We have the 1, which stands for the consciousness. It's the I am, and it's about taking action. And the 3 is the number for the Trinity of creation. It's the mom, dad, and child, right? Or the mind, the heart, and the spirit. So it means creativity and therefore joy. Because when you create something, you feel super fulfilled. 3 is also the number for connection and the number for growth and expansion. So when you combine them together, the 1 and the 3, the 13 means expansion and growth of our consciousness through rebirth. In the tarot, the 13 is the number of the death card, which has the same meaning. 13 is about the liberation through our transformation. It's about becoming aware of our power of creativity and therefore becoming aware of our immortality. I mean, look at all the creative people. They're immortal. For example, Charles Chaplin or John Lennon or Michael Jackson. They have connected to their subconscious. They're all men, but they used the divine feminine energy. They connected to their subconscious, their vulnerability, and then they created something. They manifested something beautiful. And with that, they, even centuries after their death, have the power to heal us with their work. So don't forget that there is a picture that only you can paint. There is a book that only you can write. There is a song that only you can sing. And there is a technology that only you can come up with your background, with your experience. So the 13 is about becoming aware of our power of creativity. So that means that you can create how you feel in each moment, right? You can create how you approach life. So for example, if you have respect for life, if you trust life, then life and universe will show you that same respect and the same trust. But if you think that life sucks and nobody's to trust, then that will be what is being projected to you, because that is what you will perceive the most in your everyday life. Because the universe is our mirror. So the 13 is also about creating connection, because you're conscious about the growth and expansion. So it's up to you if you want to live the rest of your life in isolation, or if you would like to consciously create that connection, the connection to others, the connection to your inner truth, as well as the connection to spirit and source energy. If we go one step further, 1 plus 3 equals 4. And 4 is the number for security and stability. It's about work and it's about manifesting. So 1 plus 3 combined means you work hard because you're conscious about what you would like to manifest. And that again creates your security. If the 13 energy, however, is not being utilized, then you have the negative expression of the 4, which is that you become too comfortable with stability. So that means things get stagnant, you don't want things to change, everything should stay the same, things are fixed because they were always like that and they should always stay the same way, and you prefer repetition of the old, which is actually the total opposite of the message of rebirth and transformation that the 13 gives us. What's also very interesting is that 13 is very similar to Pluto in astrology, because Pluto is the planet for transformation, for rebirth, and it brings things hidden to the surface. And it's really amazing that the full moon on the 13th is in conjunction. It's very closely connected to Pluto, and Pluto is in Capricorn. And Capricorn is actually very similar to the number 4, which is working hard, responsibility and discipline, and creating security. So this month we have the energy of the 13. And this is also the energy and the message of the super full moon on the 13th of July. And you can see that we have the repetitive message of facing the truth, of letting go, and of rebirth. And that can be very intense, but don't forget that Source always loves you. Love is the building block of everything in our existence. We are actually here to learn about love. So I hope that this gives you a clarity about the vibe that we can feel this month. And if you would like to have a personal reading, then please send me an email with your name, your date of birth, and your question. In a numerology reading, I can see what your life energy is. I can check, for example, if your current phone number is in alignment with your life energy. I can also compare addresses. If you're thinking of moving, I can check which address is better for you. Or I can also see if you have a very important meeting or a product launch date, which day would be better for you. Don't forget, everything will be okay. Thank you. Bye bye.